the biscuit, taste the pain. 3 years running, second place again. We used to lead, now we just chase. Didn't even touch first this time, what a waste. Don't touch that soccer sauce. He's Limp Bizkit, smooth but still no boss. 5 years dry, no shiny prize, just pretty passes and Twitter cries. Taste the biscuit, taste the bluff. It's all clean boots, but not enough. Arteta talks like we're built to win, but silverware's allergic to the North London grin. We brought win the dog, but we lose even more. 3 times second, never the king. And this year, we didn't even lead a thing. Same TikTok reels, same post-match tears, same false dawns for 5 long years. From invincible pride to annual pain, we chase our tail like it's part of the game. Limp Bizkit fence, fans still cheer, but the empty cabinet echoes loud and clear. Taste the biscuit, taste the drought. We talk the loudest, but still missed out. Stinker and hooked. Taste the biscuit, taste the pain. 3 years running.
Second place again. You deserve to have the piss taken. You just bid 50 million for Madueke. Don't touch that Berta sauce. He's spending money like a fraud. You get me? We can remix it too. We can remix it. Don't worry, Dimitri's in the chat. I'm sure he could remix something. Hey, I enjoy this song as well. I refuse to insult you with the same thing that you insult me, because I don't insult people mother anymore. So hold this ban. You and your mom sit next to each other and watch without being able to comment. Anyway, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you are yet to do so. Every single one of you guys right now, please hit the like button, please subscribe. Joining me first and foremost on loan from A-listers, you get me, representing Manchester United, Dominic Calvert-Lewin links, Moise Kean links, Jamie Vardy links. The mighty have definitely fallen. How are we, Shik?
Another day, another tweet of just nothing that's relevant, to be honest. We got an Amazon Bomba the other day. We got a senior development Bomba today. We signed a 15-year-old kid while we're currently in negotiations for Mbemo. So, I mean, just another day, man, Hussam. You know how it is, bro. But how are you doing, man? Make sure you guys are running up the likes and subscribing, of course. We're here to cook other teams. We're here to talk about other shit, because my club ain't relevant no more, so it doesn't matter at this point, bro. It really, really doesn't.
Yes. Speaking of doesn't matter, what's better than one miserable Manchester United fan? 2 miserable Manchester United fans joining us on the channel on loan from Ahmed to today's stream. You get me? Man like Ahmed. How do you, Ahmed, mate?
Yo, big up. Listen, today I had a good day, bro. I witnessed Madrid absolutely getting battered. Yeah.
I will do Ahmed. He was the first to call this PSG stuff, I'll be honest with you. He was the first to call it.
It's not even about that, you know. I'm starting to dislike Madrid, you know. I just can't stand their fans anymore. I can't stand them in it. So this, like I said, yeah, my loan to PSG was 4D chess. Big up the comment section. Big up Hassan. Big up everyone, yeah. Come on now.
Speaking of PSG, they're finished in the final. You got to be, because now they face PSG. You got to be 8-0 nation saving them in that final right there. But regardless, Virgil van Dijk from Wish is here. How doing, Ahmed, man?
Doing good. Hope you all. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Listen. When we're the underdog, that's when we play best. Again, just need to look at our history of when we win stuff. PSG, bring it on, man. I'm not worried.
Hassan, play the
Bring it
clip.
on,
Ooh,
Nico.
shiver me timbers. Shiver me
Yeah,
timbers.
I'm not worried.
Hassan, we gotta play the clip, man.
Oh, scary. Oh, shiver my timbers. Shut up, man.
That's what people
Hey.
think I'm meant to be doing. I'm not sure.
Ahmed, if you
We'll
beat
see you
Luis
Sunday.
Enrique, if you're watching
We'll
this,
see you
Luis
Sunday.
Enrique.
Ahmed,
Don't worry, man.
if you
We'll see
beat
Sunday.
PSG,
Ahmed is sending shots right here.
if you beat PSG, I'll transfer you 20 quid.
Thank you, man. I'm waiting. I'll hold you to it, man. Listen.
Yeah,
But
I'm a
remember,
man of my
because
word.
you're both
Sunday.
Muslims, this is only allowed from one side. So Ahmed can't do it back. The other Ahmed.
I will see you Sunday, boys. I promise you. For sure.
Khalas, okay, done. Perfect. Anyway, speaking of frauds, Gunnar Sulz is in the building. You get me? This guy, as soon as Gyokeres Bomba was announced, he sends me Berta like a WhatsApp sticker. Madueke drops. He didn't drop me any sticker. I wonder why. How you doing, Sulz?
No, you got to be selective, innit? So whatever suits the agenda, that's what we send it for. Madueke, the thing is, I don't acknowledge the existence of Madueke, all right? Even when he joins, he doesn't play for my club.
Yeah, maybe that's not how it works.
That's exactly how I want it to work. This is my reality.
Up to you. Anyway, guys, I'm not going to introduce this guy by saying anything about him. Everyone, please on mute. I'm just going to play a quick clip.
Solanke is much better than Gyokeres, bro. Much better. Bro, if Solanke played for Arsenal, he'd get 15 plus Prem goals. Now, why are you lying? You would be... Every Arsenal fan that I've spoken to have said they would have been happy bringing in Solanke this season. You don't need a Kane. You just needed a 9, yeah? And Solanke is more than capable of being... If you guys could look to Jesus, you can look to Solanke. If you could look to Kai Havertz, you could look to Solanke. But I think you Arsenal fans are doing what you man do best, which is shaking your bum for players that are unproven. They think Solanke is much better than Gyokeres, bro.
Anyway, hi, Deji. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing well, bro. I'm doing well. Hold that. Do you know what I mean? Moving like a big club, like a Champions League club. You don't heard about the here we go that we got today. Kudus. And let's be real. Every club that has been represented on this panel, you know you will take Kudus. You would know you have him in your squad. And depending on what team you support, maybe he's a guaranteed starter for your club. So the fact that my guy has come over, Tottenham is getting Kudus, and Arsenal's bringing Noni Madueke, there's levels to this game. Do you know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to tonight's show, man.
Mm-hmm. So am I. Let's go. Go.
So where do you want to start?
Expose yourself. Also, Jordan is not Saudi, by the way. And he tried to insult smartly, you know? So someone told me today, stick to cricket. I promise you, no one in Jordan knows what cricket is. Wallahi, no one plays this in my country. I swear to God. Wallahi, like I'm 30 years old. 30 years, I've never seen anyone with a cricket bat in this country. I swear to God, bro. I don't even think they know what that sport is over here. You get me? But regardless, big up the racism folk. You get me? They can't even get their insults normal. You know? Listen. All these guys' channels are going to be in the description now. Every single one of them channels will be added in the description. So you get AA United TV, Gunnar Sulz, The Bridge Nation, Deji Spurs, Shik TV. Every single one of them is, going to be in the description now. I'm going to add it as we start to speak. And you know something? Let's be democratic today. Why should I always decide? Shall we start with Solanke better than Gyokeres? Chat?
Yeah.
Just like Solanke. Or shall we start with Madueke? You guys have the choice. One word answer. Either right, Solanke.
Do we have to
or
start
Solanke.
with Arsenal talk?
That's all I
Either way,
want.
it's an Arsenal
Here,
conversation.
it's two
I love it.
words.
Madueke,
I just
man.
want to see.
Solanke better than Gyokeres, please.
Let's see from the
Man,
chat.
Arsenal
Guys,
talk's a bit boring. Can we talk about other clubs?
No.
I think Madueke, man. I think Madueke for me.
No,
man.
Habibi, that's not
Nah,
how it
We'll deal
goes.
with
That's
Madueke.
not how it goes.
We know that Arsenal are your bums, yeah? We know that you just hand them your little rejects. We know this. So we're going to deal with that for a good 45 minutes. We only need 5 minutes on this Solanke Gyokeres thing. Because if you're smoking Budgie Banton, unless you're smoking Budgie Banton, that statement is not as wild as people honestly
Okay,
think.
you want to know something? Everyone, like and subscribe. Most people saying Solanke in the chat. Deji, explain your take. Solanke is better than Gyokeres. Explain to the people.
Bro, look, let's be honest. So I'm going to contextualize it. Give me 5 minutes. So first and foremost, Ange Postecoglou is a madman. Let me just put it out there. We saw Solanke reach certain level at Bournemouth under Iriola. I think he had 19 plus Prem goals. Yeah. So I'm going to take that Solanke and say, if you've done it once, you can do it again. Now, the thing that I'm not doing is what people did before with Nunes. They shake their bums for players that are playing in inferior leagues and then think that it's going to automatically translate to the Prem. There is no guarantee. Someone put in my chat this week, well, Gyokeres is the highest goal scorer in Europe. Yeah, Paul Mullins might be the highest goal scorer in England. What's your point? The Portuguese league is not comparable to the Prem. So stop coming with your lazy arguments. Yes, I think Gyokeres is a good striker. I think 15 goals is round about his level. But these guys are talking about him like he's the new Haaland. You guys are talking like you've got Harry Kane. No way. Against the best defenses in world football, I can't shake my bum for him. I think what we can't do is confuse the situation. Arsenal need a 9. Yes. But that doesn't automatically mean that he's your saviour. Yeah? He's better than what you got, but that don't make him the best in the league. Because that's how people are talking. All of a sudden, Gyokeres is going to be scoring more goals than Isak. Is he? Is he going to be scoring more goals than Haaland? Is he? I'm not sure about that. And I think under Thomas Frank, with the team that he's building, Wissa soon to be announced, Kudus been announced, that Solanke is going to get a lot more goals than he did last season under that madman Postecoglou. Whereas you, I'm not sure, and this is a legit point, and this is how you know I'm really about the football and not about the banter. I'm not sure Gyokeres gets more goals than Kai Havertz. Because when Kai Havertz was fit, he was banging in goals, wasn't he? He was doing all right. Yeah, let's be real. Are you going to tell me Gyokeres is guaranteed to hit the ground running and banging goals? This is a brother that was at bloody Coventry. You know what I'm saying? Coventry sold him. Let's not lie, because you're going on like he's of pedigree. What pedigree? Yeah? So for me, he's a good player, but there is no way on this channel I'm going to accept someone that's not even in the top 5 leagues in world football and say he's going to come to Arsenal and bang. Never.
Sulz, what you want me to? Okay, you're getting called out by the chat, just so you know. Madueke minus 2 goals equal Kudus. Oh, scary, shiver me timbers. You have a response to this since you're using goals and stuff? Yes, Deji. You have any response to this? Madueke minus 2 goals equal Kudus. Shiver me timbers.
I mean, that's. I mean, obviously, the person Ash is a madman and has been smoking Budgie Banton on an empty stomach. You can't even compare Kudus to Madueke. Chelsea wish they would, but unfortunately for them, Kudus made it quite clear he's not going to come into that already overpacked squad. He's going to come into a team where he knows he's going to be one of the main men and actually have an impact. So the truth of the matter is, Madueke, nobody gives a damn about him. Remember, Tottenham got rid. He's from my academy, bruv. He's from my academy, yeah? Kudus is levels above him, but we couldn't really see his true potential because he played for bloody West Ham. Now you're going to see what Kudus is all about. And to be honest with you, if Kudus has the season that I think he has, the couple years, I know he signed the 6-year deal, I think Kudus has the potential to go to Madrid. I think he's got the potential to go to Barcelona. Let me remind you that Rafinha was at Leeds. Yeah, let me remind you. So if Kudus has, if he does his full potential, mate, I could see him going to a La Liga team. Easy.
So are you saying?
So I don't think you should just wait for us to tell you to respond. You should respond.
Yeah, man. I think for you, bro, man. You know,
He's calling you out, man.
Don't lie, man. Deji's cooking here, man.
He's preaching to the choir. I've said all this about Gyokeres. I'm not his biggest fan. I'm not going to turn around just because now we're signing him. I have massive reservations over his CV, over his underlying statistics, under what I'm seeing. I'm not someone who watches teletext. I'm, way beyond that. I'm in the modern day. I'm a bloomer of a football fan who watches 4K TV. I don't watch teletext anymore. I don't watch, scouting reports and, all of these percentiles and all of this sort of stuff. And even if you do watch those, they will also tell you how technically clunky Gyokeres is, and that's my concern. Watch all of the majority of his goals. Like I'm talking at least 95+% of his goals that aren't penalties come from very heavy touches, which take about 7 steps until he takes a shooting action. His underlying metrics are not going to work in the Premier League unless he becomes a bit more technically secure. Now, I'm not going to do the Solanke Gyokeres comparison. That's, whatever, right? But when I'm watching him, because at the end of the day, I have to see it with my eyes, and what I'm seeing doesn't translate, firstly, for Arsenal. Secondly, when you're talking about athletic defenders, because what you've got to understand, the Premier League is no bombs. They don't have crappy defenders, regardless of level that you talk about. Whether you're talking about promoted teams to the top end division, you're talking about technically secure defenders who, firstly, clock very high top speeds. One example, we can go to Spurs with, Van de Ven, who clocked about 37 kilometers or something like that, or 32 kilometers. It was a ridiculous top speed. When you look at Gyokeres' average sprinting or acceleration or even running speed, it's about 31 kilometers. Defenders are more than capable of stopping his transitions. When you look at him against Arsenal when Saliba was on him, now don't get it twisted, is he relentless? Is he a bully? Is he a bulldog? Yes. But at the same time, that needs to be accompanied and coupled with technical security on the ball, which he doesn't have. Yes, he can bully defenders. Yes, he can do all of those things. But my reservation comes from the question of, does this translate? Do these 40 odd goals a season translate to the Premier League? And unfortunately, I'm not seeing it personally, because even if you look at
So the
transition.
question then becomes, why do you send me
One
the
last
Barca
thing. One last
sticker?
thing before people can.
Why do you send me the Barca sticker then?
Yeah, that's a good
Look,
question.
for me, this is how I see it. I've
Since
said a
you
lot of
said all this, you were like Barca
Right.
sticker directly.
Right.
That's that. The moment the Bomba dropped, you sent me a Barca sticker.
No, I'm not going to flip flop my opinion on the player. Do I think he can bag goals? Potentially, yes, because he's done it. Does he know where the goal is? Yes. Can it translate? I don't know. I don't.
Can we ask the real question?
How many goals do you think he scores next season?
Who
Non-penalties.
Gyokeres?
Non-penalties.
Yes.
Because I don't think he takes penalties. It'll be Bukayo Saka who will probably take penalties still for Arsenal. So how many goals do you think he can realistically score?
I mean, it's impossible to say without the other business. I think Rodrygo and Eze have become the most important signings if Gyokeres is coming in. So if they come in, then I can see him getting 15, maybe 20 goals, because those guys have got the technical security to carry him. But if they don't come in and we get a Noni Madueke, I think we struggle for goals.
Yeah.
Can I ask? I think my question more so is that with the way you play and then the style that he plays, I've always felt that it's a bit incompatible unless the manager is like about to change the way he slightly plays to accommodate him. Do you think that's gonna happen? Because I know Arteta is obviously at times has changed his style of play, but it's been more so defensively than offensively.
I mean, it's difficult to say. I mean, the signings definitely suggest a 4-2-3-1 is in the makings, with Zubimendi and Rice obviously partnering with each other, with Zubimendi being more of a deep-lying playmaker, which is kind of what he does at Sociedad, with Rice becoming more of a box-to-box, typical to the style that he implemented with Partey and Xhaka when he first kind of came in, after he transitioned from his three-back. That's what I can see coming back with Odegaard, Eze, Ethan kind of playing in that central 10 and being a bit more free roaming, more advanced. But whether he does that, I think preseason is going to determine that. And I think if he is, if the club is committing to Gyokeres, then a system change and a style change has to happen, in my opinion. Because you can't play the way that we play Havertz, Jesus, even Trossard, and whoever else who played up top with Gyokeres. Gyokeres doesn't have those strengths. Now, he does bring a different dynamic. I'm never going to say, he doesn't bring different strengths to the team. But we would have to play more like a Klopp, more Liverpool-esque football if we want Gyokeres to work.
I agree with you, Sulz.
Okay. Now that the Solanke and Gyokeres debate is out the way, we have to, there is an elephant in the room to address today.
Can I just start? Personally? I just want to start as a Chelsea fan.
But what on Gyokeres Solanke?
And next topic, because I know
Okay, don't worry. I got you, Habibi. I got you. Don't worry. First of all, 1,100 people in here. Your like button is shameful. You're all worse than Solanke and Gyokeres. You're all a bunch of hoylens in the chat. Close the live chat and hit the like button. I don't want to keep interrupting the show to tell you guys to like and subscribe. So please do hit the like button. Please do subscribe. But we all know why you guys are all here. You get me? Madueke. £50 million bid. Talk to me, Ahmed, brother.
You know, listen, man. It's a sad day for the football club, in my personal opinion. Sad day that we're losing such a voting of such quality, such elegance. You know what I mean? A 1v1 demon. You know what I mean? He took it off Cho. Now he's the new 1v1 demon. I hope Arsenal obviously enjoy that off of him, in my personal opinion. I think the price is a little bit too low for me, though. You know, I think the price is a little bit too low. I want 55 million personally. You know, we get 55 million for him. I think that's been great business for both sides. It's 50 right now, 5 million more. I think we're talking. And listen, as I said before, if you look at him as a backup, a guy that can cover both wings for you, doesn't do too much work, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, left wing, right wing cover, can even play strike, I've heard. I don't know sources if you want to look at PSV, I stand there too. So listen, for 55 million, I think you've got yourself a bargain bucket right there, man. My personal opinion.
55 million for a backup. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, man. Listen, in this day and age, man, that's the price. That's the ongoing price, man. You know what I mean?
And then a couple of weeks ago, when I told Gal that Arsenal are just going out and signing backups, he told me, "Oh no, we'll wait for the rest of the window. We have so many. We're still waiting for the better deals for the rest of the window. You've all been signing backups this whole time. Norgard, Zubamendi, Madueke. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
A backup, he's a starter, but.
Yeah, but to replace Thomas Partey, right? So it's like that's basically what I'm trying to say. Why is it that you are spending that much money on Madueke when you could be not signing Madueke, not signing Eze, and instead just spend that money for Rodrygo?
Can I ask another question before you even get that?
And there's another question that has nothing to do with the money too. Okay, can we take a step back? LB made a good point today. He was like, guys, let's all forget the money. Put the price tag to the side. Even if it was 10 million, this is not a good transfer. And I don't know why. Because Nwaneri is already better than Madueke. Nwaneri as a backup right winger is already, based off of what we've seen from him, a lot better than Madueke. This transfer makes no sense. And once again,
I mean, maybe the manager,
Arsenal Football Club, the biggest bitches in London, are helping Chelsea with their FFP and PSR and their money spent. You do realize that Chelsea are going to double their money on Madueke because of Arsenal. They bought him for 27. They're going to sell him for 50 now. Are you aware of how mad that is? You do realize if Arsenal went and signed Anthony Elanga instead of Newcastle, that would be a better transfer as a backup right winger. Because guess what? Maybe if you're getting counter-attacked, if you're parking the bus, you could put Elanga at halfway line, run, Habibi, score goal. You get me, game, set, and match over. Even he can make an effect.
I mean,
Madueke,
there's a guy that's gone for half the price, Simon and Dingra, to Sunderland.
Madueke scored 4 goals in one game against Wolves, and the other 31 games he had 3 goals.
3 goals.
He averaged 1 goal per 10 games.
Listen, I think Madueke
1 goal per 10 games he averages.
Madueke is good at dribbling.
By the way, Ahmed, don't gaslight, okay? Right now,
he's a Madueke fan.
One second.
Madueke is a great dribbler.
Okay. Listen.
He's awful at
Madueke Nation, you need to chill out. Look, we need a Mo backup. If you tell me right now, would I rather have Nwaneri as Salah backup or Madueke as Salah backup? I'm choosing Nwaneri all day. All day I choose Nwaneri.
100%.
Yeah, all day. Even if they were same price, I'm still paying more.
The manager doesn't believe that's the case, though.
I just want to say something. I just want to say something about Sulz. He was talking about Gyokeres. I don't really know what he said. That it kind of sounds that you're on the fence with him, but at the same time, I seen your tweets talking about how Berta is moving like a mafia boss. So my question is to you, is how can you credit a mafia boss in Berta and then sit on the fence on Gyokeres when that's his signing? That makes no sense to me.
No, I can have an opinion on a player and hope he comes good. That's just the way I operate. I mean, the reason why I say it is because he has operated a lot better other than this Madueke deal. than we've seen at Arsenal for the time I've been alive. We normally falter to squads. We normally, like, whatever the demands of a club are, we kind of just give in and cave in. This time it looks like we are actually trying to get multiple deals concluded and try and go for the best deal that makes sense. Because in old times, we could have just faltered and given the RB Leipzig the money because that's our target. Eddie would have done that. Eddie wouldn't have even spoken to Victor Gyokeres, let alone try and get that deal done, drag it out throughout the entire summer, speaking to RB Leipzig to not get a deal done. At least with Berta, the difference is he's trying to get other options in place just in case the first or the priority signing doesn't happen. So we're not left without a number 9, because at the end of the day, we do need a striker. Like, we do need a good to elite level striker to join Arsenal. That's 100% needed.
But you know, when you said
You're
you
muted.
feel like
Hassan.
you guys
You're muted.
are acting different and not caving in, I think the signing of Madueke is you caving in. That is,
I agree.
one of the
I said despite that signing, like ignoring that signing. Yeah.
One of the things that I've noticed
You can't
about
ignore that signing.
I just think
I
it's
said ignoring that signing.
now that they've got a striker, they're still saying we need better
Like,
strikers.
you know, you go to a restaurant and there's a
refuse.
steak next to mashed potatoes, and the mashed potatoes taste like shit, and it's like, ignore the mashed potatoes. Yeah, but
Yeah,
they
I
taste like
refuse the existence. I refuse the existence.
okay, Habib, we can't refuse the existence
No,
because
I
it's
do.
strength for you. Deji,
So that
I want to
means-
ask you a question.
Yeah,
Where
bro.
does this Madueke signing put Arsenal Football Club in terms of everything?
Bro, I think it puts Arsenal. I was just on the show now, and I think they're moving like the tifo that they put up in the Champions League. I think they're moving like the shower curtain. They're not a serious club. I mean, any club. I mean, the whole point. Let's just think about this logically. Yeah, every team needs to strengthen to compete, and so far, Arsenal have brought in players, barring one, that is going to improve their starting 11. That's it.
Exactly. Backups.
That don't
Look
make no
at,
sense. to me.
No. Look.
look at who Liverpool
Aren't these
signing.
better than
Look at who
Zimmerman?
City is signing. Look at
You know what
all
I'm
these teams
saying?
and the
I am
signings
not
that they're
saying.
making.
I'm not saying I can defend the club at this current moment in time with the business that's looking like it's being done, but I will defend the club that the window hasn't closed yet. So we don't know. Look, am I saying Rodrygo's 100% going to happen? No. Am I saying Eze's 100% going to happen? No. But we are still linked to these guys and we're still talking to them. So I understand the Madueke and whatever reservations I have on Gyokeres and stuff like that. But let's just say, for argument's sake, like in the next few weeks, now that Real Madrid are out of the Club World Cup, that Rodrygo does happen in a week's time. Then you guys are going to say the window looks a lot different. So,
If you-
So basically, what
I can
If
say
you bring in
Rodrygo
Madueke,
100%
Rodrygo-
is
No,
not
no,
going
but
to
the thing
Arsenal.
is,
That's
the
what I
thing-
can say.
what I'm trying to say, Sulz just said, I want to ignore the Madueke deal, which Romano has put out and said that it's looking like it's going
he's
to
a
happen.
fraud. I don't care.
No, but listen, wait.
Ornstein's a fraud today as well. I don't
Listen,
care.
you can't say it's a fraud. You can't say they're
No.
frauds here because they're getting a player you don't like. You have to firm it. Listen,
100% I can.
listen. We know, yeah, that Madueke is more of a realistic target and more of an appointment that Arsenal will get than a Rodrygo. This whole Rodrygo thing, yeah, we'll see in it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that's just like dreaming, innit? They're dreaming.
Yeah.
So you can't say what if the
I'm
transfer
just saying,
window.
like, it
Number one,
does
second,
look
one
like
second.
it can happen, though.
No, but the thing is, we have to deal with the now and what's happening now and what's a fact. The fact is, yeah, that your club is getting Madueke and this Rodrygo thing is la la land. It's la la land. It's not
It's
going to
not
happen.
La La Land. If
It
you're
is La
saying
La
one
Land.
is happening and the others have been reported by some reputable journalists as well, you can't just say one's La La
So
because it's
Ornstein.
Madrid
So
then.
but how
You
can
have
you
to
say
be equal, then.
Ornstein?
You have to be even.
No, but how can you say Ornstein or fraud, but then at the same sentence say, "Oh, there's a
I'm
reputable
joking,
journalist."
mate. Jesus Christ, can you man not take jokes?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
but
want to, if I may, before you go, Ahmed, if I may, I just, I think, you're dealing with hypotheticals here, right? I think Rodrygo, as of right now, whether to be your club,
By the way, we
my
can
club,
say your crisis is a hypothetical. We can say
but the different, but
the
the reason why I cannot necessarily say like a Gyokeres, even a Madueke to an extent, is that you guys are now it's known that you're in active negotiations, right? So it's more likely than not, if you're in active negotiations and trying to negotiate with these guys, right, and you're getting closer to the price
also
range.
been massively reported that Rodrygo, we're waiting to negotiate for the Rodrygo deal once the Club World Cup finishes. So now,
But the point I'm trying to make, as of right now, that hasn't happened yet. So for me, you haven't negotiated yet. We don't know if that's happened yet. So for me, the Rodrygo stuff right now, compared to the other two, is a bit more la la land. That's the point I'm trying to make.
All right, so
think for me
okay,
also
okay,
is-
ignore Rodrygo for a moment. Then Eze is coming in.
No, I
Okay,
think
and,
that's fine.
that's my point
Yes,
though. After
yes.
Madueke and Eze, I don't think you're gonna end up getting someone like Rodrygo. Also, we're ignoring the fact that it's not just Arsenal Football Club who's gonna go for Rodrygo. There's gonna be a bunch of other clubs going for Rodrygo as well. And I don't think you're going to be that high in the pecking order. If Man City show interest in Rodrygo, if Liverpool, Hassam's club come in and show interest in Rodrygo, I think there would
Which
be
we already
more-
are,
That's
according
you
to
would more
Bill,
so
according
prefer
to
going
ESPN
to those
Brazil.
clubs rather than Arsenal currently at this moment.
Not necessarily. You don't know a player's ambition.
I just think it would be more of a situation where they would probably provide him what he wants as a player in terms of whatever the club wants, Real Madrid want in terms of transfer fees, in terms of his wage. I think those clubs would just be a lot more attractive than Arsenal Football Club currently at this moment. That's just my opinion.
We say that.
But I'm also saying
City,
this.
But guess what? Florian Wirtz said no to them. They said no to Bayern Munich, and we know Bayern Munich and German talent. So we've seen these sort of stories happen where other players have gone to other places despite the obvious.
Fair enough.
Okay.
But I also just
That
think
does not
if you
change
do,
what Shik is saying. The general
No, it
rule is...
absolutely can change what you say because you
It
can't.
can-
then
it
say,
can change.
you
Okay,
can't
here's
in
the
one
thing.
breath say
People
Bayern
keep
Munich.
talking about the
Bayern
problem.
Munich have the biggest
Okay,
pool
let
of
me
German
say
young
something.
players.
So let me say something. You're talking. Look at this fraud. Man said Madueke is better than Yamal. Everyone's just haters. Facts. Madueke is better than Yamal. Arsenal should sign him. Let's go. You know, Sulz can be in denial till tomorrow, but Madueke is going to be an Arsenal player. This is what I think Arsenal sign. This is what I think Arsenal sign. Gyokeres obviously is done. I think they're going to sign Madueke, even though the bid is stalled, the Gyokeres thing. I still think eventually they're going to get over the line because Gyokeres is even willing to take a €2 million pay cut to join Arsenal. So obviously he's twerking, you get me? In the words of Deji, he's shaking his bum violently for Arsenal Football Club. He is. And the third one is interesting. I think it's either going to be Eze or Rodrygo. Now, there is a domino that all Arsenal fans should pray for. And I'm not saying this arrogantly or anything. I'm being genuinely objective about this. You should all pray that Liverpool refuse to sell Luis Diaz. Because if Luis Diaz is sold, as reported today even by Bild, Liverpool are going all in for Rodrygo. And the way that we execute with Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards at the helm, Rodrygo could be a Liverpool player. And by the way, on top of all this, can we stop acting like the entirety of the world won't be interested in Rodrygo?
exactly.
Did I say?
I-
Listen,
only Arsenal
some of the
is gonna
money
be
that
in
you
it.
basically, the money that you give us from Madueke probably is gonna go to Rodrygo. That would probably be a very high reality.
And that's another
just
reason
kicked
why
me
I
out
don't
my
think
own
they
stream.
sign him. That's
What the
another
hell?
reason
You
why
guys
I
hear
don't
me?
think they sign him. They could have used
You
this
guys
money
hear
to
me
go
or
and
no?
try to get
You
Rodrygo.
timed out a little bit.
So financially, I don't know how much money you have to spend, but let's just do the math real
Yeah.
quick. You're going to spend how much on Gyokeres? Probably 60
Yeah,
million
yeah.
plus. You're
probably
going
be
to
70
spend
million for him. Yeah, 70
okay,
million.
70 million for him. You're going to spend
No,
money on
it's closer to
Eze.
60. Let's not inflate the numbers.
Okay, fine, 60. Cool, that's fine, no problem.
Oh, so-
So 60,
okay, fair
60 on Gyokeres. Nani Madueke is going to cost 55 plus because they've what? I don't think they're going to accept.
I think
this
it'll be
50
55,
million.
bro. I don't think it'll be 55.
And then you're
it'll be
also
55.
going to sign Eze on top of that if you end up getting Eze. I don't know what his price tag is. And then on top of that, you think you're going to sign Rodrygo for anything up to 60 to 70. He's going to go for at least 80 to 90 currently in this market, considering his age as well. So you're going to make these three signings pretty much before you end up even trying to go for a Rodrygo. And that's one of the reasons I don't think you get him. That's
And
another
plus-
reason why I don't think you get him.
And the other thing is, plus,
Yeah, but
you
we
guys
can
need to make
do
sales.
we can do these comparisons for everyone. You know, Liverpool are also looking at a striker. They've already spent 130 million on a single player. They're looking to bring in more players as well. Like we can do this for every team and go through it and how much they've spent. At the end of the day, we barely spent anything last summer, so they owe us something.
Oh, hello.
Whoa.
You know,
I
exactly.
made £80 million in profit last summer.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, like we need to compete. If we're seeing these clubs move in a different way, and we're coming in with Nani Madueke, do you know how toxic this fan base is going to turn? They can't allow that to happen. At the end of the day, the biggest thing Arsenal do, which I can credit them for, is try to get the fans back on their side. And the only thing that's going to get them from a Nani, I'm telling you, if Nani Madueke, have you seen the protests that are happening right now?
But do you not think that's Gyokeres, though? Do you not think that's
Man are
Gyokeres?
making petitions, right, to not sign this guy. They have to sign Rodrygo, otherwise the pressure's on game one. I'm telling you, if Arteta loses a
Has
single
to
game
and
next
do
season,
is two different things.
man
man.
has
Yeah.
to.
exactly.
Man
Can I
has
just
to
finish
get
the point I was
thing
making
is-
before I got disconnected? The thing
It's just
that
like
I
you
hate
have
the
to
most,
win
and
the
this-
league at this moment.
because
but
there's
you're
something
probably
that
not
gets
going
on my
to.
nerves.
Yeah.
Arsenal fans act like Rodrigo's done already. Guys, if
Who said he's
Rodrigo...
done?
One second.
Who said he's
If
done?
Rodrigo announces tomorrow he wants to leave Real Madrid,
He's not going
every
to.
fucking club in the planet wants Rodrigo.
Yeah,
Bayern
Arsenal
wants
fans act like
Rodrigo,
personal terms are
PSG
already
wants
agreed.
Rodrigo, Liverpool wants Rodrigo, City, Chelsea, Arsenal. Everyone wants Rodrigo.
Watch him
Everyone's
stay
going to
after
be
all
able...
this. He's gonna
Everyone's
stay.
going to be able to offer him a package, something, a concept, blah, blah, blah. Like, those are the things. People act like it's 100% done. Like, oh, yeah, by the way, now that they're knocked out the Club World Cup, we're going to get Rodrigo. Habibi, that's not how it works. But the whole world wants Rodrigo. Well, by the way, forget any of the Premier League clubs.
I don't understand.
Forget any of the Premier League clubs. What happens if Bayern Munich
PSG, there was
go
linked
like...
to PSG as well.
Good
You
for
know.
And you want to know
what
something?
happens
You wanna know
even what happens if Saudi even come in? Saudi
Yeah,
come
you
in
want
here.
to... No, but
Yeah,
here's the
big
thing. He says he wants to stay in Europe.
If he
He
goes
says he
to
wants to stay in
Saudi, the
Europe.
man's throwing his career away. I don't care at that point. If anyone goes to Saudi, they can go fucking
He says he
do
wants to stay in Europe. Me and you both know Bayern Munich offer high as shit wages. What's stopping him from going there?
What was stopping Florian Wirtz from going there?
That's different because it's not about the
Oh,
wages.
now it's different. Okay.
Yeah, but
now-
Rodrigo
No,
wants
but-
300 grand a
no,
The
week.
no,
words, but the words.
Rodrigo wants 300 grand a week.
So Bayern Munich don't always pay the highest wages.
No, I'm saying it's different. Wirtz versus Rodrigo, two different things. Rodrigo wants 300 grand a week.
Which we can give him.
So listen, I think Hosam would be in agreement with me.
Think about it. We've
my
given
club
given Kai
would need sales,
Havertz 265k a week, and you're telling me we're not going to give a better player more.
You're not though.
No, you're not. I don't
No.
think you will. I
Oh,
don't think you will give it.
I'm gonna break it to you in a way in a language that you can understand. The truth
So we're
is,
going to give Kai. Okay, so you're
Oh,
telling me
the truth is,
Kai Havertz.
the truth is, your club, you don't want it, bro. Let me tell you why. If your club was serious about winning, you would have bought in Gyokeres long time ago. You would have bought in Rodrygo long time ago. What you do is you do this YouTube thing where we throw all these wild things out into the atmosphere and we hope one of them lands. Let's be honest. A team that brings in Kepa, Norgard, and now is about to get Noni Madueke over the line. Look at the caliber of player you brought in, and then you want to go from here, and then you want to go from to there with Rodrygo. Rodrygo is not coming to your club, and I'll be very surprised if Eze comes to your club with that uncertainty. Arsenal is not serious, because if they were serious, they would be building a team around Gyokeres. You'd be building a formidable. You would have sorted out a proper winger on the left-hand side. You shouldn't even be chatting to Madueke. Shouldn't even be chatting anything to him.
What kind of mental gymnastics are you doing here? So we should be going for a proper left winger. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go for Rodrygo. Oh no, that can't happen. What gymnastics?
No, I'm saying you should be going in. Look, I'm saying to you, if you were serious, Madueke wouldn't even be in the equation. It would be straight Rodrygo. That's it. The fact that you're linked and you're about to get this guy over the line tells me that you're not serious. That is dumb. Like, be honest, bro. How can you bring this? Why would you spend? And you made the point, Sulz, earlier. Why spend 50 on Noni when all you got to do is add 30, 35 mil and you got Rodrygo?
By the way,
you need to tell me
that's a good point as well, yeah.
And you sent the bid for Madueke already, too. You haven't sent a bid for Gyokeres or Eze at this moment.
I don't care how people want to do mental gymnastics to justify. I don't get this Noni Madueke deal. I don't get it one bit. This is the first time.
But it's happening, though.
But it's happening.
It doesn't matter if you don't get it. It's happening.
So don't sit here in denial like, oh, I'm denying it.
My point would be, why are we signing Madueke? Yeah, if we're not after
no. Look, this is my opinion. I can't talk for all Arsenal fans, right? Because half of them don't even want to accept me as an Arsenal fan, which is whatever. But my thing is, if Noni Madueke is happening alongside an Eze and a Rodrygo, cool, I couldn't give a shit. But if this is going to hamper or detriment to an Eze
Course
coming
it's
in
gonna hamper.
or Rodrygo coming in,
But you should give a shit.
So how much
Yeah, you
money have you
should.
got to spend
no,
this summer?
because I don't care.
I
If
get
Rodrygo,
How much
Deji's
money have you
point,
got to
though.
spend this
bro,
summer?
they can go get Bastos. I couldn't give a fuck.
I get Deji's
That's my
point though.
point.
Deji's point is, why are you looking at a backup right winger when you should be sorting out your left wing side
For me,
first?
this
point.
thinks of, generally speaking, yeah. This thinks of, yeah, you're gonna bring in Madueke, Gyokeres, and then it's gonna be Eze. I don't think no Rodrygo's gonna come to the football club. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's what he thinks.
Yeah,
that's
I
what
don't
he's
even
thinking.
think Eze is going. I don't think they get
That-
Eze.
that-
But you wanna
obviously
know the
that's it.
problem?
I think
You
they
wanna
could
know
get
the
Eze.
problem,
But
Deji?
yeah,
I think they
Deji,
could
you wanna
get
know
Eze
the
on top.
problem?
Yeah.
You
I
speak
think
to Arsenal fans and they give you this most like unrealistic scenario. We're gonna sign Eze, we're gonna sign Rodrygo, we're gonna sign Gyokeres, we're gonna sign Madueke. Okay, Habibi, where are all these fuckers gonna play? Like where
where
do
are
all
they
these
gonna
guys
play?
That's what you have to think
No,
about.
no,
Too.
my
let's be
problem-
fucking objective
No,
here. Guys, everyone on the bench, everyone keeps saying we need difference makers of the bench. Okay, no
Exactly.
problem. The starting players first should be like A star level, and the bench players are B and below.
Exactly.
Even Premier League winning clubs, for the most part, other than 1, 2, 3 maximum difference makers on the bench, all had like mid to okay level players. This guy grew up watching his Premier League team, and this guy dominate the Premier League. They had fucking Darren Fletcher and Park Ji-sung and these guys on the bench. With all due respect, Park Ji-sung and Fletcher are nowhere near the levels of like Keane, Rooney, Ronaldo, Berbatov, blah blah blah. Now Arsenal need to improve their starting 11 to begin with, because Havertz is ass, so Gyokeres is a fantastic signing. They need to improve their left wing. Eze/Rodrygo, both is good because Martinelli's ass. Now you have a very good starting 11. Now, when it comes to building a squad, that's why, and see this where I'm being consistent, Arsenal fans, I didn't say that Norgard is a bad signing. Because Norgard being on the bench is actually smart. Premier League proven players can play, let's say at least the bottom 8 teams, he starts home and away. Those 16 games where he can help Rice rest or he can help whoever rest, fairs. That's a good signing. But don't tell me that you're going to sit with Eberechi Eze and go like, this is when we'll play you. If Odegaard gets injured, you're going to start.
No,
If
no.
Rodrygo gets injured, you're going to start. And by the way, there are plenty
Don't
of
forget about
players.
Wanhiri as well, brother. Don't forget
That's
about
what I'm
Wanhiri as
saying,
well.
though.
Come on,
Can't
man.
even forget about him as well.
Look, Ethan firstly is a youngster anyway, so he'll get his time when he gets his time. Now, when it comes to the Eze Odegaard argument, Odegaard's been pants this season. So who's to say
He's
he
your
finds
captain.
his...
Well, he's your captain. You're not gonna drop
Your
your
captain.
captain.
Yeah.
That's all you know, bro. You're not gonna
But
drop
his-
it.
no. I don't care if he's our captain. If he's playing pants, he's playing pants. He needs to be dropped. I don't want no send, because the issue is, right, look, not even Arteta, we're on our last legs with this project. Like, this has to happen this season. I'm not having another season of going trophyless. So whatever it takes, if it means dropping your captain, it means dropping your captain. I don't care. You've got to get it done.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but do you
based
think
on-
they're gonna
based
do
on
it?
what
Though?
you've
That's
done
the
so
thing. Do you
far,
think they will drop the captain, Martin Odegaard?
Like I said, I don't care if they should or they shouldn't. My opinion is you should if he's playing pants. You can't have 2 seasons back to, which I don't think he will. I do think he'll improve his levels, but if he's having a season like last season, we can't afford it. We can't. I don't care. You're the captain. Good for you.
So you every time you speak, I always feel like you are a sensible brother. So look, based on what you've done so far, do you think you can do it?
Well, win the Premier League.
Yeah. Based on the business you've done so far.
Go on,
Oh,
six.
okay, so
six
far,
fans are charm, man. Go on.
Not enough with what we've done so far.
That's fair.
No, but
Like,
that's like that's
I
the
think.
safe.
Look, I will caveat with. I do think it's good. backup
Arteta will
options
turn
as
him
well.
into prime Sane. Please don't tell me you're talking about Madueke.
Non-senior, man.
Bro, man,
Non-senior, man. That's
bro,
my
the
guy, man.
cope some of these Arsenal fans are doing with Madueke, bro, I can't do it.
Because
just don't
Arteta's
want it.
save-a-ho. You know,
I
that's
see.
what he
I
is.
see
He's a
division, man.
save-a-ho.
No, but
Arteta's gonna turn Madueke to Leroy fucking Sane.
look what he did to Havertz, though. Look what he did to Havertz. Look
Yeah,
at what
look
he's
what-
doing at Chelsea.
you can say that
And look what he
too.
did at
No,
Arsenal.
no.
There will
Okay,
be an
look,
improvement
look.
there. There will be an improvement from
Even
money
with
suddenly to Arsenal.
Havertz still shown in his career he could do that. Madueke, I'm sorry, even up here, I've looked back and I've tried to do the cope thing. I do the cope thing. Sam knows I do the shameless cope thing. I try to spin everything into a positive. But bro, I can't with Noni Madueke. I'm trying my hardest. You know how much analysis I'm trying to do to find one thing I can just sit here and tell you this is why we're signing him? I can't find one.
So he starts bagging. So he starts bagging.
Wait. But listen. If I may, yeah. I always say, look at the games against Wolves. Look at his time at PSV. He had some good games there. Like those are like that. That's stuff that I look at. I'm like, you know what? There's a player that definitely like if you can improve his decision making, because once he gets past his man, that's what the issue lies with Madueke. That's what I said. Like his decision making.
I've got
But the thing with that though is that you can develop a player if you give him a good amount of game time. Do you think Nani Madueke will get a lot of game time?
The thing is, yeah, if I'm being a bit serious, yeah, that's what Chelsea did this season. They felt, listen, we're bringing in Maresca. If we give this guy a good run of games, consistent run of games with the manager, and the manager's going to help him out in terms of like find a way to make better decisions, right, in the final third, that he would improve, right? That did not necessarily happen for us.
Bro, sometimes
So maybe with
special needs kids in it. You can't always improve intelligence.
Bloody
Like,
hell.
it's just sometimes
Mad.
dumb
That
or
is
dumb.
crazy.
Like, you know what I mean?
Maybe
It's
he's
just
just a
it is
teacher.
what it
Maybe
is.
maybe it's not the right teacher. Maybe Maresca's not the right coach for him. Pochettino
Yeah,
was the right coach for him, but Arteta could be the right coach.
he's still going to be on a foundation paper, so it doesn't really matter.
I'll be honest. I'm struggling to see how any of the signings that you guys are going to do makes any sense. One thing I can tell you about Arteta, he never fails to disappoint because he's got to be one of the most creative managers in the Prem. This is a manager that was comfortable going the whole 2 seasons without a striker. And let's be real, the only reason why he's bringing in a striker is not because he believes he needs one, is because the noise has been so loud that he has to bring in Gyokeres. And that's why I'm telling you, this Gyokeres fella is not going to be the guy. I wouldn't be surprised if Havertz has more goals than this brother. But the
Oh
fact
my
that
God.
he thinks
Oh my god! If that actually does happen,
that
You know
Noni,
what?
Like
Deji's
video
not-
chat.
he brought
outrageous.
in, but let's be real, Arsenal fans last season went, oh, Raheem Sterling. Oh, that's really clever because
Raheem the Dream.
Sterling will come in. When Mantinelli gets injured, Sterling with his pace can get past the back line. That's what they said. That when we all knew that was the biggest
Shall I
lie
tell you,
fraud
look,
I've ever seen in my life.
what Deji just said is the kind of fan I am, but I can't do it with Madueke. I just don't know. I don't
Bro,
know what you
listen,
want me to say.
listen, I've got a couple of edits for you. I'll send them over to you. And listen, I
I
promise you, you'll
can't,
believe.
bro.
I promise you'll
I
believe again.
can't. Please,
I
please,
promise you, bro. I'll send you them. I'll send you them myself.
No, I'm genuinely. I've asked everyone. Yeah, please tell me what Nani Madueke is. Like, what is he? What's he good at? Like,
He's a good 1v1 player. I told you this before. He's great. He can beat his man. You know,
Nah,
sometimes he makes the right
he's
decision
trash at dribbling.
and
Yeah,
cut
he's
his hands and
trash,
cheats.
bro. He's
Trash.
garbage.
No, listen.
Ahmed, you rate Bradley
Don't lie,
Barcola
don't
and
lie.
Nani Madueke.
Listen,
man.
yeah,
Come
but
on.
listen,
Like,
Bradley
let it
Barcola-
go.
Barcola
both
can
trash.
dribble past
Bro.
his man. Madueke can dribble past his man. His problem is he doesn't make the right decision.
What's the point of
90%
dribbling
time.
past someone when you can't do anything after that? What's the point?
That's why the
What is the
manager's
point
gonna
as an
come in. That's what
attacker
I'm
if you
saying.
can dribble
Arteta's
past
gonna
someone
help
and you
him
can't do anything
improve
after
that.
that?
Arteta's gonna help him improve
No,
that.
you
Shik.
can't.
And
you
that's
can't-
why
some-
Thierry Henry, when he was talking about Salah dribbling, right?
That's it. Yeah.
He saw in front of him, he was like, Salah 90 dribbling. He was like, only because when you dribble past someone, the whole point is to fucking do something.
Yeah.
If you dribble past someone like Madueke and do fuck all, you cannot fix lack of brain. You cannot fix lack of brain.
You can do.
Yeah, we tried it with Nunes 3 years. Yes.
I think
Now-
listen, we tried it 2 years in Madueke and it didn't work. So I'm saying maybe Arteta is the one that can fix it.
Listen,
Bro,
Madueke
bro,
can't
bro.
do it.
Look straight
You know
into this camera right here. Name one thing Noni Madueke can do that Adama Traore cannot do. I dare you.
That's a good question. But
Great question. which cannot answer.
Madueke-
Anyway,
Madueke-
United Ahmed had
The thing
a
is,
question.
just to say one thing, yeah, I don't know where people get this. Like Madueke is he's not a good dribbler. I've seen him so many times. He's ass at dribbling. He's pony. Like he's awful. Like he can't shoot, can't dribble, can't pass, can't cross. Thinks he's Ronaldinho. He's awful, and that's a perfect fit for Arsenal, isn't it? Always going for average players, and then at the end of the day, next season when they do go into the season, they'll probably find another excuse on why they've not won the league. But if you actually deep it, your backup is going to be Madueke to Saka. You are going to get your striker in Gyokeres. God knows who you're going to get on the left. You've already got your number 6. You've covered all bases. So now, next season, they have to go into...
Ahmed, I'll tell you.
No, one second.
I'll tell you straight. There is
And also next season...
Can I follow through? From Arnold?
Yeah, and just one more thing, yeah. Next season, I don't want to hear anything because 1 minute it's Saliba injury, 1 minute it's Saka this, 1 minute is the moon
Referees.
is that, the grass is that. Listen, next season they have to win. It has to be a major because you can't be gassing Berta like you said. You can say, "Oh, I'm only joking." No, you actually mean it, and that's fine.
No, the better stuff. I'm talking about calling.
No, but you can't gas Berta and not expect something mad in it
The
next season.
journalist. I'm calling the journalist fraud. That was a joke.
I want to speak to all the top gooners that are in the chat. Not you, Souls, but in the chat. And I'm going to have to call out the elephant that's in the room, okay, about Arteta. See, you know, Pep came into the Prem, transformed the league. Arsene Wenger transformed the league. Ferguson transformed the league. And to a certain extent, Klopp, with his style of play, transformed the league. Arteta is here to transform the league. And that is the issue. Because Arteta has been experimenting. He's the only one that I know that would play a centre-back as a striker. Does anybody know any other team that's experimented with DMs as strikers? So for him, he's looking at this team and he thinks he can do something creative with Noni. He thinks he can do something creative with Mourinho, Zubimendi, and I think it's in his creativity where he's going to flop. Had Arteta just kept it simple, I think you could add something special there. But because he thinks too much and he thinks too highly of himself, that's why you're making the error and that's why you're bringing in these players. Norgard doesn't make sense. Don't lie to yourself. It doesn't make sense. That's a crap signing. You know what I'm saying? Kepa is a rubbish signing. Like,
Shout out Kepa, man. Shout out Kepa.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, these don't make no sense, bro.
No. But Kepa's a backup keeper. I don't care. Right, Norgard, again, a backup DM. He's Premier League proven. He's going to be on the bench. He cost us nearly nothing. We've got Zubimendi, who should be playing the majority of the season. Rice can drop into the 6. Moreno can play the 6. So there's enough players there who we don't even really need Norgard to play, but he can play from time to time. Like more the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, that kind of thing. So the signings aren't stupid. It's because they've come before the priorities, which is why people are losing their heads.
Yeah, but I feel like, again, if you look at Kepa, European pedigree. He's won the UCL. Noni, European pedigree. Won a Conference League. You know what I mean? No, but like, guys, we're bringing in guys that have got pedigree in the league. Obviously, Norgard's got Premier League experience. So a lot of these guys they're bringing in.
I know you're trying to do this propaganda thing. It ain't going to work. We've already gone through it, right? Like, it's not going to work. You can't sell us on these players.
Guys, Castro is accusing us of copy-paste. No problem. Everyone, please join me on the panel. Let's all clap for Arsenal for signing Noni Madueke. Well done. Well done, Arsenal Football Club. You guys, you want to know something, Castro? You totally cooked us here. Like, you're 100%
60 million
correct.
from Arsenal for Kepa.
You deserve a round of applause for
That's a great deal for me.
Noni Madueke, who is worse than every single winger you employ, including Trossard and fucking Martinelli. And we're supposed to sit up here and say, wow, Noni Madueke, oh my God. So we are not copy-paste. He's fucking shit. What do you want me to say? He's a shit signing. He's a shit player. And he sets Arsenal back £50 million. Have some shame and decorum. I get it. You're a top red. I get it. You like to gargle on Arteta mouthwash every morning. No problem. But at the same time, come here and at least be honest for once. If you're not even criticizing your club about Madueke, today, imagine. The literal... There you are. See, watch. This is how I know your brain cells are completely lacking. You bought a player better than Marquinhos.
Where's Marquinhos been?
Fucking Brazil.
Yo, he's trolling. He must be trolling.
He must be trolling.
Yeah.
Imagine. Watch this. Yeah, watch. Imagine Liverpool sign Edin Nketiah and I say he's better than Darwin Núñez. What would you say? You've been in the chat laughing your ass off. You're gonna be set back £50 million for a player that's not better than Trossard or even Martinelli.
I'm just hoping it's smoke screens, man. Honestly,
when you call me copy-paste, what do you want me to clap for? What am I supposed to sit up here and go like, way, well done?
Listen, all I'm saying, man, getting 60 million... Yeah, for
I swear, I'm gonna throw something at you virtually. Listen, I'm not hearing it.
You know how crazy that sounds, bro? 60 M's. I'm going through the transfer window.
For a backup.
Guess what?
For a backup.
Wallahi, man, I'm eating good, man. You know
60
what I mean?
million, by the way.
No, no,
60
no,
million,
do
by
you
the
know-
way. 60
you know
million
when
is how
man
much we're
asked
about
me-
to.
You know why when man asked me about Rodrygo, this is why. If we've got the peas to spend on a backup for 60 million, I don't care if you have to sell your kidney, you get me my Rodrygo.
That's how much I needed for João Pedro. He paid my João Pedro transfer fee, bro.
No, we paid for your fines.
He paid for my João Pedro transfer fee, bro. 60 M's. Crazy.
By the way,
man.
all the Chelsea fans in the chat who doubted me when I did Joao Pedro prob, hold
Thank
that.
you, man.
You're all,
I told
you're
you
all
before as
frauds.
well.
No, it's one game. Let's chill. Let's see what he does.
No,
against
no,
PSG.
Habibi. I wanted them at Liverpool.
Let's see what he does against PSG and then when
Of
the
course,
big boys
Solanke
come
is better than Gyokeres if he's not even here yet. Yeah, but listen, here's the thing. I disagree with that logic. I do believe Gyokeres is better than Solanke. I think Solanke as well has an injury in him a little bit every now and then. So, look, I like Solanke. I don't hate Solanke. I do think Gyokeres is better than Solanke, though. That's the thing.
But we'll see. We'll soon find
We'll
out.
find
won't
out.
we?
Yeah, we'll find
But
out.
by the way,
I get his
and
point.
you know, this is why shout out Shik. This is why me and Shik both together teamed up and called out Igal on Monday. Don't come up here after doing Gyokeres, Victor Gyokeres and all this and tell me I expect 15 Premier League goals. Wallahi, you expect one more goal than Strand Larsen? Have some shame.
And
Have
all
some
summer
shame.
they were saying we want Gyokeres over Sesko. We want him over Sesko. We want him over Sesko. Only to score 15 goals.
Don't come for me. I'd never say that.
Yeah, that is true. He wanted Sesko. Sulz, that is. Big up to Rere who says, once again, Klopp left us in a mess. Konate will end up leaving on a free in the long term, improving Arsenal's defense, being able to keep Saliba. If Klopp left us in a mess, we couldn't have won the league, brother, by definition. You don't know what's mess? Ten Hag.
Yeah.
That's mess. That's called
that
left us
guy's
in
a
a mess.
khanzir, bro,
Yeah.
and a half, bro. I can't.
No,
Yeah,
for
he's
real.
There you go. See? The United fans are calling him
I hope
pig.
Leverkusen get relegated. Seriously.
bro. Like,
60 million for Madueke and Norgard. Have shame. I've heard Nicholas Jackson will be available soon. That's the
Yeah.
thing. You see, like, we can take a step back, and this is for Castro in the chat. We can take a step back and go like, okay, Norgard, 10 million. Who gives a fuck? If you're playing Leeds at home, you want to rest Declan Rice because you've got a Champions League game. If you're playing Burnley away and you want to rest Zubimendi because you've got a Champions League game, okay. Hadi, not that deep. Do not come tell me 50 million fucking pounds on Adama Traore region from Chelsea. I'm supposed to sit up here and go like, well done. Bro, have some shame.
You could play on Ethan against Burnley. That's my point. Is that he's there, he's available. You have
Yeah,
backup.
100%.
You can play him against Burnley, but you're gonna play Madueke. So it is what it is.
If we don't get Gyokeres, we don't deserve to do the season. Oh yeah. Listen, here's the thing, bro. Who made Rere a mod? Oh, that's fucking bitch ass Vel or someone. Oh, that's Jack, you fucking fraud. The man made a Rere account. You fucking fraud, Rere. You fucking fraud, Jack. Hey, there you are. Don't worry. Ryan ain't ever going to be mod on this channel, though. You guys are safe. Hit the like button, guys. We have 1,250 people in here. We're not even at 500 likes yet. You know, you talking about all these players. You guys are frauds. Hit the like button, subscribe. Jack, you cheeky lad. Here's the thing with Arsenal, right? Look, Arsenal needed a changing summer this summer. They needed a revolution. They needed something, take their club to the next level. And they're literally not even doing that. They're not doing that even at a 1% of what I expected. And you know, the difference between me and others is we can criticize and we can praise, but I refuse to praise everything and I refuse to criticize everything. Let's be objective about this. Madueke is fucking shit signing. Gyokeres is good. Eze is good and Rodrygo is good. But if you're an Arsenal fan, pray that Liverpool want to keep Diaz. Because if Liverpool come on the table for the Rodrygo thing, it's over for you, mates. I promise you. One conversation with Arteta, how he tells him he wants his left winger to track back. Versus one conversation with Slot where he's like, yo, Diaz and Gakpo had the best seasons ever, you know, with me as manager. You know, it's just completely easy. You know, we're 2 Premier Leagues in the last 5, etc., etc. You know, Liverpool are cooking, mate. You get me? And yeah, I think we're able to attract most players ahead of Arsenal. All would be a lie because, of course, some players would choose Arsenal. I think it's like 60-40, 65-35. So I'm not going to say Arsenal have 0% chance. You know, but that's the thing. So big up to all of you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. And speaking of cooking, Deji's club is cooking. Kudus, here we go. Looking at Wissa. I'm sure you've heard claims of Ozempic Tommy. You get me? Big up to big up to Jacob. How do you feel about Spurs this summer, the Kudus situation right now? What do you think the ceiling is for Spurs next season?
Yeah, I mean, Tottenham are taking things very, very serious. Do you get what I'm saying? And actually, we're making some shrewd business. That's what we're about. And I don't mind shrewd business. We brought in Kota Take, let's hold that. And he is 6'4", Japanese international, ready to come to the back line as cover for Danzo, Romero. And look, Romero's not going anywhere. So we've got Danzo on the bench. We've got Take. I mean, look, it's looking good. And we still want to get left back cover. So we're looking at a Fofana or something like that from the Syria to come and challenge Udogi. And look, I said it before a couple of weeks ago that Tottenham's team isn't that bad. It was just mismanaged. Actually, that back line could be, if you just drop the back line and they didn't play so high, I reckon defensively they could be really, very good. The issue was our wings. The issue was the left and the right-hand side, and we've sorted out the right-hand side. Kudus is a great signing for Spurs. For me, I'm not even going to lie to you. I am surprised we got that deal over the line, because if you're wanting to compete, if you're wanting to make noise, that's the type of signing that if Arsenal had bought Kudus, we would sit up. You know, if United had bought Kudus, you would sit up and say, Kudus, Cunha, they're cooking. So the fact that Tottenham now want to get Wissa over the line, and that's probably because we're not going to get Eze. Wissa, for me, is a problem. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that is a very, very good signing. And all of a sudden, Spurs have a half-decent squad. Remember, Richarlison is still there as well in the mix. And then all we need, if we get Wissa, we just need and 6. Sell Basuma, get him out my face, go to Atalanta, go and get Edison. But you know the other player that Spurs have been linked with that no one's talking about? Spurs have actually been linked with Ademola Lookman. What a player. If we can get that brother over the line, now we are building a team that, look, I think that is a top 6 team, guaranteed, like with Spurs. And then for me, Tottenham is looking at another striker. That's a team that is making sense. That's a team that now wants to compete. That's a team that say, you know what, we're not here to do an Arsenal and play games. We're serious. So we've been linked with Vlahovic. I don't think we're going to get him over the line. And we're looking at a couple of other strikers. Tottenham does that business. And I have to say, we have to sit up and look sharp. So yeah, I'm over the moon. Kudus for me.
No, you're not gonna do that, Deji, because you just said sit up and look sharp. You see, you're smiling. I want expectations now.
Bro, I'm being real. Look, for me, we signed. Look, we had a bozo moment also this season. Yeah, Matthias Tell. I don't think Matthias Tell is that guy. I mean, you might as well have signed Noni Madueke, in my opinion. However, if we get, it's the truth, bro, we might as well have signed Madueke with that Tell brother. So, but if we get like a Wissa, or we can get another left-sided player, then I think Tottenham could be cooking, man. You know, we've still got Kulusevski. We've got
I'm not going to let you get away with it. Let's say, I'm going to give you the scenario. Spurs sign Lookman, Kudus, and Wissa. Okay? Very, very plausible situation. Nothing crazy. What do Spurs do next season? What is expected?
For me, I'm not expecting anything less than top 4 and FA Cup. Guaranteed.
Okay, fair enough. So extreme improvement.
Because Thomas Frank, the issue is, this is his first season where he's playing Champions League football. He's having to manage. He's having to mount Champions League plus a Premier League charge. So because of that unknown, I'm gonna be conservative with 4th and the FA Cup. But should he accomplish that, then you know it's game on the following season.
Nah, you're not getting top 4. Nah, they're not getting
Wow, we
top 4.
top
You'd
4.
have to be better than Chelsea.
If Tottenham bring in the players like Lookman, Wissa, with Kudus, and the squad that we have, we can get top 4, 100%. Are you 100%?
The thing is, yeah, like, with the Worcester thing, I refuse to believe that with Brentford. Obviously, that you got their manager, they got rid of Norgard.
We got their
Man United
coaching.
still, huh?
We got their coaching team as well.
Yeah, you got your coaching team. We're still actively trying to get Mbeumo over the line, and talks have been said that we're gonna get it over the line pretty much. It's just about a few million yet. I can't see them selling Worcester as well. No chance.
No, they're not. But what we have heard though is that if Spurs get Wissa over, then Brentford are saying they're not going to lose both of them. But if Tottenham move quicker than you, that means the Mbeumo deal is dead. And to be honest, bro, Ahmed, the only thing I would say, bro, is like your club are some of the biggest fraudsters and bums I've ever seen, because you're supposed to be one of the richest clubs in world football. You're supposed to be English heritage.
I'm alive.
Why haven't you got Mbeumo over the line yet? Why haven't you? What are you waiting for?
Listen, like I said, yeah, you can say that, oh, Man United are supposed to be this or supposed to be that. The thing is with Tottenham, yeah, is that I'm telling you, the way that they've been moving recently after that Europa League, you'd think they've been Real Madrid the whole season, innit? Like, bro, these lot won their first trophy in about 75 gazillion years, and now they think they can get all these players. Look, at the end of the day, you can say, why are we not getting Mbeumo? They're about to sell their best player. They want to make the most money out of it, and the guy wants to come to United. He rejected you guys as well. Let's be honest. He doesn't want to come to Tottenham.
Ahmed, I have to say this. Be careful how you speak to me. Be careful.
No, let's say it as it is. Let's say it as it is.
The reason why I'm telling you to be careful how you speak to me. I played you 4 times. I slapped you 4 times. Hold that.
Well done. You beat us in our worst era.
But the truth of the matter is, bro, is that you've had enough time to get Mbeumo over the line. You ain't done it. So this a couple million here, a couple million there is not. You're sounding like Arsenal, bro. You're sounding like you're not serious. You're sounding like about a month ago.
Ahmed, let me ask you a question.
Okay, hold on. I can counter that.
Go ahead, United Ahmed. Go ahead.
I can counter that. Yeah. So he's talking about Worcester. There's no concrete negotiations with Tottenham and Worcester like that. And he's talking about Lookman. We're not hearing anything. Those are all just like, you talk about Arsenal. Yeah, you're like Arsenal. That's literally Arsenal as well. Wishful thinking. Yeah, it's not happened yet. With Mbeumo, you can say it's taken a long time. Just because it's taken a long time doesn't mean it's not going to happen. At the end of the day, Romano's come out, said that the player wants to come to Man United. He said no to Newcastle. He said no to Tottenham. Are we dragging it out? Yeah, bro. Probably are. We're not trying to pay him 70 million. We're not trying to go over the odds. Do you get it?
I think the question.
195 a week. When I said last
195 a week. Where are you getting that from?
Bro, I read it. I read it that you guys are offering him about 195.
You read it, yeah. So you're just like stat padding random stuff.
That's the reason why he's waiting and wants to come to your club. But anyway, Ahmed, look, just so you know, and you can see which team is serious between us.
You signed one player, by the way.
We were linked with Kudus in 1 week.
Yeah, but Kudus is not Messi.
We got it done. No, but in 1 week, what? Is Mbeumo better than Kudus?
Yes. I think based off of last season, yes.
Bro,
scored 20 Premier League goals.
Nah, bro.
How many goals did Kudus score?
West Ham is just a potent team.
I think last season.
Mbeumo's not better than Kudus, bro.
Mbeumo for the past 3 years has had about 16 to 17 GNA consistently, even when Tony was around. When Tony left and all the pressure went on Mbeumo to perform, he had his best ever GNA season. What are we doing here?
Yeah, but
what are we doing here?
Let me tell you what we're doing.
You would take.
It's crazy how an Arsenal fan can ask a United fan how's the relegation bully battle. It's crazy.
If Kudus was not in the picture, I'm sure you were twerking for Mbeumo. I'm sure you were. When those links started, you were.
Let me tell you what we're doing.
Crazy.
True or false? I'm going to ask you a question. I just need you to answer it legitly.
Pick up net tweet.
You had a better front three. Brentford or West Ham?
Like at the start of this season.
Yeah, bro. Because he's telling me about numbers. It's there's levels to this. And
So
Mbeumo was the focal point. He's a big fish in a small pond. For West Ham, it was slightly different because they had Paqueta, they had Bowen. They were able to share it. At Brentford, you can't share it. Mbeumo is the guy. If Mbeumo's not on job, that's it. You're done for. Now he's coming to United.
As much as I hate Man United, I do think Mbeumo is better than Kudus, though.
I don't think so, bro.
I just think for me, this argument about Bomba Kudus, I think is a bit more, doesn't really matter. My problem is though, United are taking quite a bit of time, and Spurs have been quick, at least in the transfer of Kudus. So, and if they are willing to be quick and meet the demands of Brentford for Wissa, then you do have a problem in your hands. That's the argument.
No, but the thing is,
no.
I think we eventually get Bomba
That's
done.
massively
I think we get
disingenuous,
Bomba
though.
done eventually.
Kudus is going for his market value, whereas with Brentford are trying to fleece
Penny
United.
pinch, yeah.
And the reality
Yeah,
of the matter
but that might be true. But
the
if
reality of the
let's
matter
say
is, look, United have to change their perception in the market. They cannot be known to be this team who get bullied and just pay what they need to pay.
But right now, I get that. That's fair. But the point I'm trying to make in them doing that, which I think is still fair for them. I'm not gonna discourage United from doing so. Yeah, if Spurs get given like a 40 million price tag or like a 35 million price tag for Wissa, even though I think it might be a little bit more, right? And they say, you know what, we'll meet you there at Brentford to make that happen. Then listen, it's still gonna. Then they've still lost out on Mbeumo, right?
No, they haven't. They haven't, because Brian Mbeumo has given his word to United that he wants to join them.
that's what I said.
So, like,
But he won't join them.
There'll come a situation where he's going
By the way,
to
you guys
the
are
training.
talking
all
about
of that.
You're not understanding. What you're not understanding
No,
is when a
it's also-
player
you're
comes
guys are
out
talking about two
publicly and
different
says
things.
this, he's now made his intentions clear. He wants to leave. You don't.
Okay.
Like
One second, because you guys are talking about two different things. The Sky Sports reporter, Sky Sports Lyle, I think it was, he came out and said that Brentford don't want to lose both Wissa and Mbeumo. So it's not a matter of Mbeumo gave his word to United. We're not denying that. We agree that if Mbeumo were to leave
Wissa
Brentford
is
tomorrow,
staying.
it's going to be to Manchester United, 100%. All we're saying is, based off of reports and information that we're receiving, it seems like Brentford don't want to sell both.
Right. Okay. Can I ask a question? Because I genuinely don't know much about the Wissa deal. What's the price for Wissa?
At
40,
the
no?
moment,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, then it's a Mumbo. They're going to want the more money. They're not going to just sell Wissa for less and then
want it. That's why they're dragging it. They want he's literally Brentford's best player. They want to make the most money out of him. Hence why they're dragging it. So
they'll take Spurs and drag it to the end of the transfer window because they know they can get more money from Brian. I'm not saying that they don't want to let go or whatever, but it's just that the fact of the matter is he's more of a higher asset that they can sell and replace better with.
but the thing is as well.
Yeah, he's literally their most valuable asset. And they've been looking, there's been reports that they've been looking at how much we spent on Cunha. And they've been saying that, Mbeumo outperformed Cunha in terms of GNA last year. So why can't we pay close to that amount of money too? And we also got money from the Elanga deal to Newcastle.
And
so we have a
Alvaro
sell-on
Fernandes,
clause on that. And Alvaro Fernandez as
The
well.
Elanga deal
So they're
makes
waiting
sense,
for all
but
these type
the
of
Cunha
things
deal
too.
doesn't make sense to use in this. I know football
No,
clubs.
the Elanga deal I was mentioning is because we get a 20% sell-on. We had a 20% sell-on clause, so we get 11 million from that
No,
deal.
because the Cunha deal was like an agreement in his contract or a release clause, something
Release
of that
clause.
nature. So
Yeah.
in that sense, it's difficult to kind of put the two comparison. I know clubs will do it because that's like, but that's the value he went for. But when it comes to like the Brian Mbeumo deal, like I think what United are trying to do, because what people need to understand, pre-season hasn't started for anyone yet. They're still a few weeks away. So if they needed to just take an extra week just to get 10 million knocked off, it actually shows they haven't faltered in the market, and I think that's a good sign for United.
price is going up though, not down.
No, but who knows?
I hear that, but I just feel like we're eventually going to end up paying what Brentford want. I feel like we're eventually going to end up paying what Brentford want.
But you know what it is, with Kudus, he's a good player in it. But even if we miss out on him, bro, he ain't better than Diallo. So we're cool in it. Like we've already got that right hand.
Yeah, I rate Kudus too. I think Kudus is a
so,
great.
he's a good player in it. But
yeah, he is a great player.
He's a good player in it. He'll do well for Tottenham. He'll develop under Thomas Frank. He'll have a good time there, and that's fair play to him. Like it's a good signing. Same with the Chelsea. Same with the Chelsea and the Joao Pedro. With Mbeumo, like obviously he's got mad numbers, but for me, I just want to see how he plays. I want to see what he possesses. I've not really watched Brentford like that. And I don't want to go off numbers. I don't want to go
I
off.
also will say this. I think it's also the way that Thomas Frank set up the attack. And I think he did outperform and do a lot better in terms of like season after season because of Thomas Frank and how they were setting up Brentford. Because obviously losing Tony put a lot of massive pressure on the attack of Wissa and Mbeumo. And I think he did play, of course, well. And I think he is a great player. But it's like, I think the conversation is, how is Ruben Amorim going to get the best or that same amount of GNA output or that same amount of performances at Man United when he plays him as an inside 10?
Alongside Brian.
Okay, how about you answer that question, Shik? Because I think that's a great question. You're a very objective guy. You're not like overly angry or overly positive. Like, what happens next? So let's say you get Mbeumo, right? So Man United sign Mbeumo and you got Cunha. striker, I'm not going to give you like worst case scenario. Let's just say you sign like fucking Mateta, okay? Nothing amazing, nothing crazy. Mateta. What do you think is the ceiling for United next season? Where do you go from here?
So just Mateta, because we still need like midfield. We still need a midfielder.
If I go based on need, you need like 11. So
I know, but
like,
my point is that I don't want to start off the season with Bruno and Casemiro or Ugarte in a pivot. I think that's a big part of our system itself. Why we struggled last season is because of our midfield and interchanging midfield all the time. But if we realistically do get that attack, I mean, to start off, we scored more than 44 goals in a Premier League last season. I think we do that for sure. I think ceiling in terms of if we're talking about league position, I mean, 6th to 7th is a reach. I don't think we get 6th to 7th. To
big
be
up,
honest.
Deji. Big up.
I think at most what we do is probably considering that. I'd say in terms of our attack, because I don't rate Ruben Amorim currently at this moment either. It's all just ifs, buts, and maybes on how we're gonna set up. But I think we could. Yeah, it's tough, bro. Maybe probably above top 10 for sure. I think we are finishing above top 10 for sure currently as it stands if we do get Mbuemo and Cunha and a striker.
Upper mid-table, maybe.
Can I make one Bomba?
I'm being very
Can I say one Bomba sentence
Wait.
and then I will let Ahmed respond? One Bomba sentence, United Ahmed. One Bomba sentence. I think one of Spurs or Man United will shock the world next season. One of your clubs is going to finish in the top 5. I just sense it. I just don't know which one yet. I have to see the whole summer.
Yeah. Now, but the thing is, yeah, obviously, we all know my stance about the manager, and he's pony, he's useless, yeah. But you know how Hussam said they need 11 players. The thing is, yeah, we don't actually need that much of an overhaul as how people are saying it, because we finished 15th, right? And obviously, it was a shocking season. We lost to Tottenham. We don't need a new 11. All we need, yeah, is obviously 4 to 5 players in positions like midfield, like in the attack, and just obviously a manager who, you know, you can get the best out of certain players, you know, have a system, everyone get the best out of the defense, get the best out of the midfield, get the best out of the attack, and make things steady. That's it. So I feel like with, they need a new whole 11, yeah, like I've always said that our team is not 15th level. It's not 15th level. Next season, I genuinely believe we'll probably be around 10th or 9th.
That's what I'm saying too. Yeah, I think so too.
But it's not going to be.
Have a good summer. Let's say, okay, United sign Ederson from Atalanta, Mbuemo, Cunha, and Mateta.
Yeah.
1 game a week. Objectively, you could get top 5, you know.
Because
Aston Villa have
I'll say 6 to 8. I would say 6 to 8 then after that.
Yeah, but you say this, but here's the thing. Objectively, Aston Villa have Europa League football. Forest have Conference League football. Crystal Palace even have Europa League football. Newcastle are in the Champions League, which they struggled with last time. Remember how they got like injuries and a lot of players like out and shit like this. Now you're looking like 100 million% Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea, all finishing above United. But remember, because of the coefficient, all you need to do is finish 5th on 1 game a week. That ain't impossible.
I mean, 1 game a week.
There's a lot of if, buts, and maybes with this manager, though, Sam. That's the thing.
And there's a lot.
Then we bring the manager into question. Is he gonna? If we end up keeping a lot of these guys, bro. First of all, if we end up keeping Onana in goal, forget about it.
Did you hear that he's happy with Onana? That's what I'm hearing.
He's happy with Onana. You see Onana smiling when he's pulling up to training. He's smiling.
No. Like you've got to do that. You can't exile someone just yet.
They've done that already to Rashford and Garnacho.
What do you mean?
But they know he knows he's getting replacement for them. But like, you can't exile.
Yeah, but also Amorim has made it very clear.
Of course we can. We finished 15th last season, so like, of course we should be able to.
You can't. No. But you guys are thinking you can get it like 20 players this season. You can't.
No. It's not 20 players. It's not 20 players. All we have to do as a club is make it known that we want to get rid of these guys. And these guys will leave.
But you're asking for a major. You're asking for one summer of a major overhaul. The likelihood is, are you gonna with all the problems that you've got, are you going to get all of them sorted? You can't just start going, well, your guy is shit as well. He didn't have a good season. Maguire's shit as well. Like, then you're just ending up with like 10, 15 players that you now need to replace because you've just exiled them all.
Okay, we can be realistic then. Let's be realistic. Okay, goalkeeper needs fixing. The Bruno thing, we messed up. That was a big decider in it. That could have.
I can't
And
put
one
down
more
the
deal
club
would have been
because
done by
Bruno
now.
wanted to
If Bru-
stay.
100%.
And that's the problem, is that we asked him, what do you want to do? We're supposed to, is our club the employer, or is Bruno the employer? Are we the employees, or is Bruno the employer?
We're putting Bruno
Is Ruben
above the
Amorim the employer of this club? No,
Yeah, 100%.
it's Manchester United Football Club, the board, the so-called structure that all these fans were asking for. The structure is here now, and this structure is asking players on what we need to do. I said this a long time ago. Had we won the Europa League, majority of these guys looks like they're still pretty much staying, but everyone would do revisionism on them. Well, in a season of 15th place, they still won a Europa League, they still won a trophy, they deserve another season.
I mean, you did that with the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup.
We did.
I get your point.
And as much as I always say this too, that we do need to win trophies as a club of our stature and who we are. In this situation, this is the perfect situation for us to get rid of a lot of the players in our squad. We're playing one game a week. We're allowed to trim down our squad. We're allowed to bring it down to 20 players, a little bit over 20 players. And we're not doing that. And that's my problem, is that the club needs to take initiative in a lot of these things. They need to come out and say it's unacceptable for some of these players to stay because we've had an abysmal season. And some of them need to go, and they've done that, telling Marcus Rashford to go find a club. They took the number 10 shirt off his back while he's still here. So it's that type of energy which needs to be applied to a lot of other players as well. And that's the problem that I have, because it's not good enough from them at this moment. They're allowing these players, they're going to the manager and saying, do you want another season of Onana? He's saying, yes, I do. Cool. Onana's not leaving. It's those type of things. That's the issue that I have.
No. Behind the scenes, I get your point. Like, behind the scenes, if he's also saying that, then I understand. But I'm just talking like from a public-facing perspective. It's probably not a good idea for him to continue exciting more players, because he needs to get reassurances. Number one, that he can replace Onana if he goes and says something publicly, and he probably isn't getting those reassurances. So you can't, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to backhammer him, but I'm also saying there is maybe a different side to the story.
No, but the thing is,
Ahmed, you know what the issue is, yeah? I just think you guys are going to have, in general, for some of these players in particular, going to have a hard time finding, places to move these guys on. If we're being realistic, like some players, for example, I know you brought up Onana, it's going to be very hard to sell a guy.
No, if you're doing Madueke prop, you can do Onana prop. Let's not do this.
Listen. I did Madueke and Onana are night and day, in my personal opinion, in terms of, like, at least Madueke is going to give you something. Onana right now, bro, he's moving.
No, they give you the same. Let's be real. They give you the same.
But when it's giving you 10%, it's like when it's giving you 10%, you can at least share the 10% in it. You can talk it around. Can't talk around 0%, bro. You know what I mean? There's no juice there. So my point is, there's a lot of players in that squad where I just look at and I'm like, I feel what's probably going to happen here is that it's good towards the end of the window. Clubs are then going to try to come in and essentially get cheap prices on you guys. That's because of the way that you have basically moved by a previous history in the market. That's what's probably going to happen. Like, you're going to see a lot more loans with obligations, or like loans with options to buy, with a lot of these maybe deadwood guys that you probably want to get moved on, rather than actual sales happening.
But that's what they're trying to do, though.
The problem is the high wages. That's
also the point. That's also.
But the thing is, like,
let United Ahmed have a say, and then we'll wrap up the stream. Go ahead, Ahmed.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you know how United fans are. Like, I can understand they're annoyed with how things are, but you can't get rid of Rashford and do like Expelliarmus and then he's gone, innit? Bro, you have to actually look at it, bro. Like, you have to look at the guy. He is on 300, or I don't know how much. I don't know the exact. He's on a lot of money.
He's like 300.
He's not. Yeah.
200K,
one year he ain't that great. 2, no club wants him. 3, he's on a lot of money. 4, he wants Barca, but Barca don't want him. So what are we supposed to do in it? We don't want him. Amorim don't want him. No one's trying to go in for him. At least with Antony and Sancho, whether you guys like them or not, they've got suitors. Juve will try and get Sancho. Antony's had a good loan spell. They will always get clubs going in for them because, bro, Sancho's done his thing in the game in the Champions League, and then Antony's done his thing in Betis. There's more suitors. With Rashford, you can even arguably say that we've already seen the best of him. And that is when he broke into the scene. Do you get what I'm saying? And look how long ago that was. So, Mason Mount, how the hell are we going to sell this guy? Yeah? How the hell are we going to sell him? Yeah? He's on a lot of money. Bruno, we had our chance. And Casemiro, I like him personally. I don't think he's an issue to have in the team. I think he's still got, maybe not start every single time week in, week out, but the one thing that I'm really annoyed about is what I'm not going to let them get away with is that Luke Shaw one. That guy, oh my days. I don't know. First of all, I don't know why he even played in that final. And secondly, he's been here for over a decade, and he's still at the club. just doing nothing in it. So
You've
Can't
got, you've
believe
got,
Luke
his, you've
Shaw
got a
still
history of
here.
that, though.
yeah,
That has to
100%.
be the craziest thing. Luke Shaw being still at Man United has to be the craziest thing.
No. Phil Jones, innit? Phil Jones did the same thing, man. They got a history of doing this.
Phil Jones is better than Luke Shaw. But anyway,
Yeah, but they've never played.
listen, we're gonna wrap up the stream here. Start your stream if you want, Shik. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Please do hit the like button, subscribe. Of course, you guys bottled the 500 like target because you guys are bottle jobs. You guys are all a bunch of hoylans on the chat. Could even get fucking 400 likes.
As well.
Frauds. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. Big up every single super chatter, big up everyone who supports us. I'm gonna be back tomorrow with a Bomba stream, inshallah. 2 p.m. UK time. I'm live with Staffy, Sulz, not the Souls, the other Souls, and Igal to talk about Noni Madueke and all them other shit Arsenal transfers. So you're gonna have a lot of fun, inshallah, tomorrow. And I'm live at 7 as well to do Liverpool talk. So it's gonna be a packed day. Hit the like button, subscribe. And this stream is gonna take you as well. Go subscribe to the Bridge Nation, Gunnar Souls, Deji, Spurs, and AA United TV. And this stream is gonna take you over right now to Shik TV. He has a stream titled "What is really happening at Manchester United?" You get me? And this stream is gonna take you over to that stream. So go over there and you get me? Show him some love, show him support, and I'll see you guys over there as well. Peace out.
There you go.
Nothing's happening at United, man. Thank you.